So last question, before we close, one of the things which we ask our guest is to share a personal book or something which they have recently read or they are passionate, which we will give to our upcoming guest.
So I'll tell you a book I love. I'm
Sure.
recently read or not.
ठीक है, love is the most.
एक book which I really like, which was very insightful, was a book called Digital Darwinism.
अच्छा.
So this
What is interesting
written
about
by
it?
Tom Goodwin, and what he's saying is the rate of digital adoption and change is so fast, right? If you're stationary, you're going to be
Extinct.
Yeah, you're going to be extinct, right? So he talks of some 3 or 4 models. So one of the first model is self-cannibalization. How do you do?
Achha, how do
Right.
you reinvent yourself?
Reinvent, right? So self-disrupt. Actually, self-disrupt is the word he uses. At some point in time, you have to think of, do I need to do self-disrupting to stay relevant, right? And couple of examples is Netflix moving from DVD to streaming, right? So the DVD business is doing very well, and streaming took some time, but they realized that I have to do this, right? Satya Nadella moving from an on-prem thing to a cloud thing, because it self-cannibalized a lot, right? So he talks of that as one model, right? Then the other model he talks of is what he calls as paradigm shifts, right? Which is about the marketplace model where Uber and Airbnb and all that came and disrupted the whole thing, right? Then he talks of incremental thing where you're constantly taking one particular thing and always improving it. So Amazon is a frictionless experience. Everything I do will be about frictionless, right?
Incremental improvement.
So and he says that is a constant that you have to look at. If you're not looking at it, the pace of change at digital that is happening, if you're not willing to experiment and be on that particular thing, you'll be extinct very quickly, right?
Amazing.
So very, very nicely articulated book. From business perspective, that's something that I really like. The other book, which is almost a in some sense you could say it's about personal habits, but it's also, you can take habit loop form out of it for saying how you want to learn loyalty, is a book called Atomic Habits.
Yes.
I don't know if you've read that.
Yeah.
A guy called James Clear. So very nice. He talks of, how do you really do you give a cue, right? It's time for your coffee latte in the morning type of stuff. And how would it sound if you had a whatever,
small rewards and this you do
a type of sprinkle of whatever Cadbury on that, you create a craving for that, and then when you respond to that particular thing, then it says, okay, here is whatever $100 or whatever. Or if somebody is, and this is from a loyalty perspective or not loyalty but a customer engagement perspective I'm saying, but you could create it as a habit loop, right?
So that you keep engaging with the brand. It need not be transactions.
Correct. So it could be for your son, daughter, whoever, you want them to do a certain thing. How do you actually put it in place that is happening, and there's a habit loop that is getting formed? I mean, habit loop, he talks of it more from a personal benefit perspective, but I think there's a lot of parallel in terms of trying to create the habit loop in
the loyalty world. So Mahad, this is one book which I have found very passionate about. It's called High Output Management. Have you heard about OKRs?
Yes, I have heard of OKRs.
Yeah, so this is a book which
Andy Grove of Intel.
So Andy Grove was the CEO of Intel, and late in 60s he created OKRs. So OKRs is just one chapter out of this book, okay, and it talks about how should really you manage a company. It talks even like how to hire, how to fire. It talks about there's a concept of breakfast factory. This is one book I have gifted almost like 15-20 times.
Nice.
And I love it. It's a coffee table book for me. You read it once and each chapter gives you a great lesson. If you are in a problem, go open it, especially in the context, and it's great for a manager to a CEO.
Nice. Yeah.
And it's very relevant.
I'll definitely read. So I've read his first book. So one of his first books was Only the Paranoid Survive.
Yes.
Which is actually very relevant even today.
Yes.
Right? So he speaks of the early days of Intel and how Only the Paranoid Survive. But I had not read this book, so I'll definitely read it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maha, for coming on to this podcast.